With the Montreal Canadiens right now, we've been able to see Justin Barron and Jordan Harris play a couple of games together. And it's I can imagine for Canadiens fans, it's really nice to see those defensive prospects do well. But let's not forget about one Caden Guhle, who looks as if he's going to have himself an interesting next few months because he could be competing for a Memorial Cup later this summer. He could also, in the summer as well, play in the World Juniors. Remember when we had those around Christmas time? Yeah, COVID kind of changed that a little bit, moving the tournament that was supposed to happen last Christmas to later in the summer. I think in August. August is supposed to be a time where we're not supposed to do anything. We're going to have to watch the World Juniors and possibly Caden Guhle with Team Canada. Andrew, do you think the fact that Caden Guhle is not at the NHL level right now, I mean, understandably, he'll be playing some meaningful hockey at the junior level at the Memorial Cup and the World Juniors, but do you think that kind of puts him behind Justin Barron and Jordan Harris when it comes to, getting NHL experience and coming and when he eventually makes his way into the lineup?
Well, in terms of him being behind them on like the schedule to make the NHL, probably because he's a little bit younger. But I've done a lot of work this last month or so talking to scouts who watch these games with these young kids constantly. And what I keep on being told over and over and over again is that, like, yes, Barron is good. He could be a legit NHL player. Harris, good. Legit NHL player. We've seen Corey Schooneman. He's been solid. Probably more of a third pairing guy, but good depth. Caden Guhle has the potential to be a top pairing defenseman. And he should probably play a year in the American Hockey League, and the Canadiens don't need to rush all these young kids. Barron could go down to the American Hockey League next year too. They do have to insulate these kids a little bit to help their development. But Guhle is a guy who has just way more range in his game than a lot of these other guys. He is a preeminent puck stopper in the junior hockey league. Like, you watch him with the World Juniors, you can actually go on YouTube, and one of the scouts that I talk to all the time, Mitch Brown, did a video breakdown of Caden Guhle. It's called Caden Guhle Wakes Up and Chooses Violence Every Day. And he is just the most effective hitter in the CHL in the last probably decade. He is so good at it. His timing is impeccable, and that's something that as the game speeds up, he will need to adjust his timing for sure, but he's an incredibly smart player, and his offensive numbers are not what you would expect for a top end pick in the CHL, because his team that he played on for most of his junior career did not score. Like, they just did not score. You can watch plays of him make a great play and just nobody's there. Nobody's ready to be in a scoring position. He's been better since he's been traded to the Oil Kings, but it's going to be very interesting to see how he develops. I don't expect him to be on the roster next year just because I think the Canadiens would benefit from not rushing prospects for once. But when he makes the NHL, watch out for Caden Guhle. He is going to be a very good one. And when he makes it, he'll probably go up the lineup pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that will put him behind, some of the other defensemen who've been able to have some taste of the NHL this year, because those are huge experiences on their own. If he's able to play at the Memorial Cup or the World Junior Hockey Tournament, that they're moments that he's going to learn from and grow from. And I remember a few years ago that Carey Price was even talking about, thinking back to his World Junior days, and sometimes when it's a pressure situation when he was coming into the league, he would think back at how he handled those. So they're like stepping stones on how to get to the NHL, and people take different paths, and Caden Guhle's path might be different from the other two defensemen. But also, too, with the World Juniors being held in August, well, Julian, people can have pool parties. Like, remember, everyone seemed to get a projector during this pandemic, and during playoff hockey, that everything was outside. And, sometimes in the summer, it's fun to have some meaningful hockey games to watch. And maybe the World Juniors being in August won't be so bad.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to hurt his progress to the NHL. I mean, here's a kid. We had a taste of him last year in the playoffs, and quite impressed with. Everybody talked about, again, the word poise and his ability to handle situations at such a young age. So, again, a classic example of a really good, skilled defenseman with good size and mobility and smarts that is going to. Transition into the NHL sooner than later. And I wouldn't feel worried at all to put him into a lot of situations to succeed, because he he's a winner, and I'm looking forward to see this kid step in there and make an impact right away.
All right. Let us know in the comments section how you feel about Caden Guhle and his chances at, well, not just his chances at making the NHL. He's going to make the NHL, but Caden Guhle and his progression behind guys like Jordan Harris and Justin Barron. And let us know between everyone on the panel who would host the best pool party in August to watch the World Juniors. I would think because he has more money off of his career earnings in the NHL, Rick should be the default winner. That's my lead. That's my like clubhouse leader right now. But you can leave that in the comments if you wish. Rick, am I wrong? I feel like you'd be able to throw a pretty mean pool party.
Yeah. I'll send out the invitation sooner than later.
You might not get it though, Julian. It might go to the wrong address.
I better not, Rick. We've been doing this for months now. You should know. Come on. Anyway, subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out show on YouTube. Subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out newsletter. And visit hockeyinsideout.com for full episodes and other articles by people like Stu Cowan and Brendan Kelly. Great people to learn from and read from. Got the Montreal Gazette.